Hello friends, hopefully my lighting is okay. I'm going to flip the camera down here in just a minute. So I have my blinds open so that it will be lighter on my work area, but I know the lighting's a little funny on my face right now. Is that better? Okay, it has been a couple weeks since I have been live with you, and this is not my regular day. If you are joining me for the first time, usually I go live on Thursdays at 12 o'clock p.m. Arizona time. But October was a crazy month for me, and it's still kind of crazy the first day in November. So I was able to come live for just a little bit with you this morning or afternoon, depending on where you are. My name is Rachel Trout, and I love to share my card making with you. So today we are going to use a suite of products that is not even available yet, unless you put it in a starter kit, which you can do. But they will be available starting on Tuesday. And I think this suite of products is so cute. I hope you love it too. So I know those of you who regularly watch me and follow me, you probably know some of the crazy things that have been going on in life, but I'll give you just a quick little update. So in October, my husband and I kind of share this space. When he's working from home, he is working right here where I'm doing my video, and he usually works from home 3 days a week, and then he's in the office 2 days a week, which is when I usually do my videos. But this month his office is moving buildings, and so he was at home a lot more, and I wasn't able to do live videos for all of October pretty much. And today they ended up having to go in for a little bit to do some setup for next week. So I thought I'm going to grab the chance and do a live video. And I was not able to pre-record for yesterday because I ran out of time. So it worked out perfectly. Well, almost. Almost perfectly. You'll see when I flip down for the cards. I'm not as prepared as I usually am. I actually have not created samples for the cards today, but I have them all cut and ready and planned out. So it will be a little adventure. I used to be a teacher before I had kids, and I was asked to substitute teach this month, and it's the first time I was in a classroom since before my oldest daughter was born. So that was another adventure. I had a couple field trips with my kids that I went on, and on top of all that, my husband ended up getting pretty sick. He got something called valley fever, which if you're not in this area, you probably haven't heard of that, but it comes from mold spores in the air, and it gets kicked up with the dirt and the dust here, and it can cause pneumonia and stuff. It gets in your lungs. And so for him, he is really allergic to mold. So his started with a really bad rash that we thought was an allergic reaction, which, I mean, it kind of was to the mold, I think. But he just didn't have a lot of energy. He did have a fever just one night, and now he just has a lingering cough, but he feels pretty much back to normal. So I know some of you kept him in your thoughts and prayers. Thank you for that. He is doing much better. But that kind of threw a wrench in our month too, because I had to help with some things I normally don't do around the house that he couldn't do because he was sick. So crazy. Now I'm catching up on all of the things: laundry, dishes, housework, and stamping. So life is still a little crazy, but that's all right. So today we're going to make 3 cards with the Otterly Adorable Suite. I'm going to flip you down so we can take a look at it. Anyone can watch this class for free and enjoy the cards. If you would like a card kit sent to you, I offer those every week also, and those are free with your purchase. So if you shop with me now through Tuesday of next week, using the shopping link in the description, which I will post after I'm done being live here, if you use that shopping link and you spend more than $40 before tax and shipping, I will send you the card kit to make the 3 cards that we make today. And if you spend more than $50, I double the cards, so you get to make 2 of each. You will need the stamps and the dies if you want to die cut the images that we stamped today. And like I said, they're not quite available to customers yet, but on Tuesday they will be, and that's the last day that you can get the card kit. So if you want to wait and order, then you can do that. If you want to add them to a starter kit now, you can do that. You won't get the card kit, but all of my team members, which you will be if you buy the starter kit, get my class tutorials for free. So that's kind of a fun perk. So you can choose. And if you like the cards, that might be a fun option for you. All right, I think I'm going to flip the camera down and we will take a look at this suite. Let's see here. Get my camera all situated. It has been a few weeks since I did this, so bear with me here. See if I can get my holder in place. That's always the hardest part. Okay, so this suite of products is going to be available starting on Tuesday, November 5th. The whole suite collection, if you order it, is $75.25, or you can order each part separately if you don't want it all. I think you're going to want it all. So there's a stamp and die bundle, the Otterly Amazing bundle, and isn't it super cute? So we have a bunch of online exclusive products releasing on Tuesday, and some of them are kind of Valentine's themed, so it maybe seems a little early for that, but then you can buy your things and get ready ahead of time. You don't have to wait for our January product releases. So these sentiments, I think, can be used for Valentine's Day, but they don't have to be. I think this is just a cute bundle to use anytime. And then I love all of these little detailed dies in here, like the log and the fish and the rocks. And you've got your greenery and your bubbles. So you can do lots of fun things with those. I think it's a fun bundle to play with. At least it has been so far for me. Let's look at the embellishments next. So I never remember the names, so we're going to double check. Riverside Irregular Pearls. They are really pretty. I think these are supposed to be either the Lost Lagoon, or the Pretty Peacock, but they kind of go with all of the blues in the designer series paper. These are kind of like a gray, and then these are more of a white, but they're all kind of iridescent and pretty. So awesome embellishments. And then we've got our Lost Lagoon soft cording, and it is actually soft. So sometimes with the cording, it's a little stiff and hard to tie, but this is pretty soft, and it's easy to tie, and we'll use it on some of our cards today. Like I said, I have the cards kind of designed, but I haven't put together samples yet because life. That's why. So we'll kind of see where we add those in. And then the designer series paper is a 12 by 12 designer series paper. And it has lots and lots of fun patterns. So this one is the greenery, the seagrass, and all of that. Then on the back, you've got a pool party pattern that looks kind of like the water. Isn't this fun? So if you like fussy cutting, you can have a lot of fun with this paper because there are some really cute images in here that you can fussy cut. Or you could even use like your shape dies, like circles and rectangles, to cut those out and use them on your projects. Then on the back of this one, we've got the schools of fish in the different colors. Here is another page where you can do fussy cutting if you enjoy that. But I also think, like I said, the shape dies, circles to cut out the little family of otters. Super, super cute. And then on this one, we've got some of the sea grass or whatever with the little fish in the background. Here we've got more otters, again, for fussy cutting if you like that type of thing. Lots of options here. I believe the dies do cut out a few of these. There is a die that is shaped like this. So I believe the dies cut out that one. And then this one has the gray texture on the back. So that's a nice background settle. You could even do stamping on that one. Okay, here we've got more otters, more chances for fussy cutting. I do believe some of these can be cut out with the dies. This one, maybe this one, I believe there is a stamp like that. Maybe that one too. So more options for die cutting on this one. But you can also enjoy your fussy cutting. And then this one has the balmy blue texture that looks like the water. Okay, this one's a fun one. I think I'm getting most of it in my screen, but it's just a fun scene. So this would be really fun if you wanted to make a big home decor piece that's framed, or if you wanted to do a scrapbook page with just a few small photos. It's a cute page, I think. And then the back of this one I really like too. This is all like the river rocks in the different colors, and this is actually one of my favorite patterns. So I don't know. I cut up one sheet of this, and maybe I'll have to do something with this other side. But I really like both sides of this. That's always the struggle with the designer series paper, right? Is which side to use. Now, I did forget to say, I always like to draw winners every week from people who comment on the video and interact with me, and I pick the winners to send the 3 cards that I make to. So if you are here, make sure you say hi and let me know what you think of our cards today. So we're going to be kind of creating on the fly. I have them planned out, but I have not put together samples yet. So we're going to find out what they look like together. So if you think that's fun, let me know in the comments. I think it's kind of fun. It's also a little stressful, but that was the time I had to work with this week. So it is what it is. Okay, this one we're going to start with a thick, basic white card base. If you are using white for a card base, I like our thick cardstock a little bit better. It's just a little sturdier and makes a really nice card base. So if I am doing a white card base, I always use our thick cardstock. Okay, then I have a piece of Pretty Peacock here that is 3 5/8 by 4 7/8. And then I have a piece of white that is 3 1/2 by 4 3/4. And I think I'm just going to layer these together. Now this first card was inspired by one I saw by Bree Renwick. She is an artisan design team member. And actually my second card was inspired by her too. So I really liked a couple of cards that she shared. And I thought we are going to recreate those because they're really cute. And the next element I'm going to show you on this one, I think, is my favorite. I just love it. So I think we'll pop this panel up with some dimensionals like that. Now, what Bree used on her card was this heart die, and this is from our Friends for Life die set. And it's going to frame the otters perfectly. And I thought it was so cute. So I had to copy that. So this is cut out with the Friends for Life dies, and it is in Pool Party. Now, if you order and get the card kit this week, you'll get all of these pieces, just like I'm showing you here. So you'll be able to make the cards. And if you don't have the embellishments and the cord, you can add those to your order on Tuesday, or you can use something else that you already have. So we're going to use the large stamp with the 2 otters, and I'm going to stamp in Memento Black. That is the ink you'll want to use if you are going to color with our Stampin' Blends markers. Now you can color with any medium that you like, but I love our Stampin' Blends markers. I also love that we have them in so many colors so they can coordinate with our other products. So today I pulled out my pecan pie, and our Stampin' Blends markers come in packs of 2. So you get a dark and a light. And then I pulled out my Old Olive and my Lemon Lime Twist to color in the greenery. And I just pulled these colors out of the colors that are in the designer series paper. I also brought my Petal Pink because I think on otters, that chest area is a little bit lighter, so I might use my Petal Pink for that. Now, when I color, I like to start with the dark marker, but you can start with the light if you want. It doesn't really matter. And one trick is to use the lines in the stamped image that Stampin' Up! Has given you. And then, like, this otter is kind of laying on top of this one, so there might be a shadow right there. And you can kind of use those lines to figure out where the darker areas would be. And if you don't know, it's okay. Just guess. Just play around with it. because chances are the person that you give your card to is not going to be thinking, there wouldn't be a shadow on an otter there. No, of course they're not going to think that. They're going to love your handmade card, and they're not going to be thinking about where it should be light and dark, and they're just going to think it looks amazing. So you don't need to worry too much about that. And the more you color, the more you will get better at it. I don't know. I think I'm going to just do olive pecan pie on this to make it easier. My brush tip on this one is a little bit wonky. So I'm going to switch to my tip end so that I don't go outside the lines, because that's what you learn in kindergarten, right? Not to color outside the lines. So usually in a larger area I would use the brush tip, but we'll use the narrower tip here. Now with our Stampin' Blends markers, they're alcohol markers, and every time you color, you are adding another layer of color. So let's say I use my light one, and I color again over an area that I've already colored. It's going to just add another layer of color. So you can actually do some shading with just one marker. And if you color over the lines of like where the dark and the light meet, that kind of blends together. That's why they're called Stampin' Blends. So it helps the color to blend and just gives you a little bit more of that shading. So that's why I'm kind of going back over these areas to help blend the color more and add more layers of color. And I don't think mine looks perfect, but it's okay. It's not bad, right? And as it dries, sometimes you get different colors. Now, I don't know, maybe on one of our other cards with one of our other otters, I'll try the petal pink for the chest area, but we'll just stick with pecan pie for this. We also have a color lifter, so that might work well too, to lift some of that color back off. I did not grab mine today, but that would make the chest area a little bit lighter also. Ooh, I am going outside of the lines a little bit. It's because I'm trying not to make you watch me color forever. All right, that's probably good. We'll go back in with our light. I don't usually come live to you on Friday, so if you are watching, is anyone doing anything fun this weekend? For us this weekend, my oldest daughter plays volleyball, and this is the end of her season. So tomorrow we have a volleyball tournament. And my kids go to a pretty small Lutheran school. So there are, I think, 8 girls on her team, ranging from 4th to 8th grade. It's super small. One of the girls can't be at the tournament tomorrow, so they have 7 girls. They're ranked 4th, but I feel like they're kind of the underdog because they're small, they're young. A lot of the girls were new this year. But my daughter absolutely loves volleyball, and it's fun to watch her play. So she just so badly wants the 3rd place trophy, because the last 2 years they've been in this tournament, they've lost the 3rd place game and gotten 4th place, which is not a trophy. So that is just her biggest wish for tomorrow. Okay. The lemon lime twist and the old olive look kind of similar over here, so I got to make sure I have the right one. All right, I have dark old olive, and oh, let's see. I think I'm going to do these in the dark old olive. But you could mix and match your colors here and do any type of green. There's also, in the designer series paper, there's garden green, which we don't have Stampin' Blends for. And then there's the lemon lime twist. So you can do any of those greens. You could even do, like in some of the designer series paper, some of the greenery is actually the Lost Lagoon and the Pretty Peacock. So you could pull in some of those colors also. Anyway, so yep, volleyball is what we are doing this weekend, and my husband is one of the coaches. So yesterday he went and practiced with the girls at one of their recesses. Okay, we're going to pull in the light lemon lime twist. And their net ended up breaking at the end of the practice. So they get out of school an hour early today, and we were like, let's just invite the girls over here to have one more practice and play and, you know, get ready, get geared up for the tournament. But my house is kind of a disaster, so that was part of the reason why I did not get my samples done, because we were trying to clean up a little bit, and I still need to finish doing that. I don't know if I like that light. I think I'm going to go over it with the dark lemon lime twist and see if I like that better. If not, that's just what it's going to be. Yeah, I like that a little bit better. You could even just do light and dark old olive or light and dark lemon lime twist, and there we go. Okay, now there is a die that cuts this out, so we're going to use it, because if you don't have to fussy cut, that's nice, right? All right, so let me grab my die cutting machine. Move these things out of the way so we can cut this. Yep, so anyway, spur of the moment, we decided we were having people over to our house this afternoon. And like I said, I need to catch up on laundry and dishes and everything from all the busyness of the rest of the month. Or I guess we're in a new month now. The rest of October. But that's okay. The girls will have fun playing volleyball, and then, I don't know, next week I'll keep playing catch up. Okay, let's move that out of the way. Okay, put that die away so I don't lose it. All right, now we just have to finish assembling our card. So I got to decide exactly how I want this. I think it looks okay with that heart. I don't know. Maybe something like that. I'll think about it. I have a little strip of Pretty Peacock here, and we're going to heat emboss our sentiment in white. So this little strip I just measured out, we're going to do the We're Cute Together sentiment. And this measures 3/8 by 3 1/4, which I think is about right. And so for heat embossing, you want to ink up your stamp and Versamark. Oh, I almost forgot one thing. So we have this fun little embossing set. It comes with this tray. It comes with the little brush, the tweezers, and the embossing buddy. And I used the tray for a while, and I liked it okay. But I was still having powder left over in there and having trouble getting, you know, if you use a different color, some of it still sticks. And when you put it back in, there's different colors that get stuck in there. And so then it would go in, I don't know. I liked it okay in theory. But then I decided, I've seen other people do like these type of containers. So I put my white embossing powder in one of those, because that is the color I use most often for embossing, and I like how that works. But I do love the embossing buddy. So what it does is when you rub this on your cardstock that you're embossing, it removes like all the static, the sticky stuff. So then when you use the wet ink, your embossing powder is going to stick where the wet ink is, but this has gotten rid of all the other sticky spots, I guess you could say. So the powder should only stick where the ink is. So I have white embossing powder here. And we're just going to add that on there. I love embossing in white on dark cardstock. It is just so, it just pops so much. All right, so I'm going to move away from here and blow just a little extra off. Or at least good enough, right? The other thing I really like about this little embossing helper set is these tweezers, because they are really great for holding your piece that you're trying to emboss. So I'm going to turn my heat tool on and emboss, so it's going to get loud for, you know, 30 seconds or so, but you can watch the magic happen. All right, I feel like it's taking forever today to heat up. I don't know if that's, I think it's pretty good. Maybe it's just my lighting too. I think it's good. You don't want it to still be powdery because then it'll rub off, but I think we're okay. Okay, so let's pull in our pieces here. So if you are die cutting this yourself, you maybe want to use adhesive sheets. You guys know I always forget to use those, and I did this time too. So we're just going to do a few dots of glue, and actually, let's see. How did I want to do this here? Maybe, I don't know if I want it overlapped or not. I do kind of want the heart to show. Yeah, maybe I do want it like that. So maybe I'm not going to put glue on that side yet, because then I can tuck the otters in, and then I'll go back and glue it down over the top. So that would be a reason not to use the adhesive sheets. So you can do that little trick. I think my glue is getting low. If you watch me, you know the green glue is not my favorite, so it's kind of shocking that I'm running out of one, right? And I can tell that piece is old. Let's get that off there. There we go. All right, with the trick with the green glue is less is more. You do not want to use very much. So I'm trying to have a light hand. I have gotten better since I've been using it more. But you don't want it splurting all over the place. Okay, so we'll lay that down. See, it already moved and I got glue. I think the otters are going to cover up that part though, so it'll be okay. Okay, let's see how exactly we want them to go. I don't know. Do I want to cover up that part? I guess I could. I think I'm going to put glue on the back of this too. You could use your Stampin' Seal Plus or even dimensionals. But I think I'm going to use the glue because that way if I need to move them around just a little bit, I can do that. Get it exactly where I want. Like that. And then I think we're just going to add a little bit of glue on here. Hello, Joan. Thanks for joining me. Did you all see Joan's cute Halloween card yesterday? I had a couple of my stamping friends send me Halloween cards this year, and I thought that was so fun. I do not send Halloween cards usually, but I like to make a few of them. And it is always fun to get a handmade card in the mail, I think. Okay, so this is going to go right here. Now I have hair sticking to me from that glue. Okay, so this is going to go right here. I think, let's see. Maybe if we put a bow somewhere behind it with this. Now, Joan, if you're just joining, you probably missed me saying this, but I have my cards kind of designed and laid out, but I haven't put samples together. So, all right, and I'm using my big orange scissors today because, guys, I have 3 pairs of the paper snips, and I don't know where any of them are. Oh, yeah, that's life. Okay, I'm thinking if we tie that bow and put it under here, that would look cute. I like that. Now the knot is a little bit big, so maybe I'm just going to kind of curve it and stick it under there with a glue dot so it doesn't have that knot. Now if you kind of get it into the shape of a bow and you put a glue dot on it, it'll hold well enough, and then we're going to put the sentiment over it with dimensionals to hold it in place. So it'll be good. And now I don't have that knot, so I think that is better. And it looks like mini dimensionals are going to be what we need for this size of sentiment. And I am going to put a bunch on there, especially to go over that ribbon. I probably should leave a little spot for it. I don't know. I don't use the mini dimensionals that often, except out of my paper pumpkin kits sometimes. But they're perfect for this. If you wanted to, you could just use like the edge strip of your regular dimensionals too. That would fit in this. Okay, we will put this over here. Make sure I have it centered. That would be important, right? So cute. Okay, and it looks like I did get my embossing because it's not rubbing off on me, so that's good. I'm just going to trim this a little bit. Maybe this one just a tad. And then, of course, we got to add some of those little rock embellishments. Okay, let's bring those in. I think I'm going to use the blue ones, I think, because we have some of the other blues in there. So I just got to decide where to put these. Embellishments like this, I don't always know where to put because they're called irregular. But I think, you know what? I'm just going to use them like I regularly use embellishments, and I think it's going to look okay. You can use them kind of like rocks also, but there we go. Okay, what do you think of that? I love the heart. I thought that was such a cute idea from Bree Renwick. So I basically copied her card, and she didn't have the embellishments in the cord, I don't think, but I love it. I love that heart, and I love it around the otters. I think it's so cute. So I hope you like it too. And remember, if you're commenting, you have a chance to win this card. So we will put that one to the side and move on to our second card. Now this one, I kind of got inspired by one of Bree's cards also, but she had her paper kind of cut at an angle, and I didn't want to fuss with that, especially when I was just putting the card together for the first time on camera, because you know that would not end well. So I made my paper straight, and I think it will still look cute. But for this one, I have a Pretty Peacock card base, 5.5 by 8.5, folded in half. And then I have another piece of Pretty Peacock that is 5.25 by 4. And this one I embossed with our So Swirly embossing folder. I think this looks kind of like water, so it is the perfect companion for these otters. And you can kind of decide, I think this is probably the right side to put that on. So we'll just lay this one down flat. Like this. And then I have two pieces of the Designer Series paper. This is actually front and back, so they kind of coordinate together. This larger one for the bottom is 2 3/4 by 3.5. And then this one up here is 2 by 3.5. So I think I'm just going to lay those down flat also, because we have some other things to add to our card, and I'll pop those up with dimensionals, and I don't want it to get too bulky. Okay, so this is kind of getting centered on that embossed layer. Like that. All right, now I have a circle here. I couldn't decide which color of banner is going to look best. So I did a pool party one and a white one, and we'll test it and see. And then I'm going to stamp 2 of the otters. So this is actually 2 different stamps in the stamp set. And I just mounted them on one block, and we are going to ink those up in Memento Black again and color them like this. What do you guys think? Should I try the petal pink this time for their bellies? Maybe. I guess I can always, well, this one doesn't really have a belly showing. Okay, so I have my dark petal pink, and maybe I'll just do a little bit lighter right in here. I don't know. Maybe you could also use crumb cake. When I was looking up Otterly Adorable earlier for card ideas, there weren't too many out there yet, but I got lots and lots of cute pictures of otters, so that was kind of fun. All right, I don't know if that's going to work or not, but we'll see. Okay, I'm going to pull back in my pecan pie. So let's see, I have dark here. And we'll just kind of follow along some of those lines, just like we did on the other otter. We will make his tail over here, kind of dark on this side. Remember what I said, doesn't have to be perfect. It is handmade, and no one that you give this card to is going to be thinking they colored it wrong. So Don't let that stop you from coloring. Now, if you wanted to, you could also cut out some of these otters from the designer series paper, and then you wouldn't have to color at all. Or you could look at the designer series paper and color them similarly to how they're colored on the paper. That is another trick that I've used before, because those artists that created the paper, they know what they're doing, unlike me, and so their shading probably looks perfect. I don't know. What do you think of the petal pink? I think the otters do have a lighter chest area right there, so I think that is correct. I'm not sure if I like the petal pink or not, but maybe I should use the light petal pink. I don't know, but we'll go with it. And I probably could use my brush tip on this large area also. My brush tip on this one, though, is a little bit raggedy, so I will try to stay in the lines by using this. Okay. I think that's pretty good for him. And then our little guy, I don't think he needs too much dark shading. Just a little bit there, maybe a line along its back. Okay, and then we'll color him in with the light. What do you guys think of these otters? They're so cute, aren't they? When I saw this suite, it did not take me too long to add it to my cart. I just am a sucker for the cutesy animal bundles. And I don't remember that we've had otters before, so sometimes, you know, things kind of repeat, and that's okay. But it's fun to have something we haven't had before. Okay, there are dies that cut these guys out too. So let me grab those. Grab my die cutting machine again. And we'll put these guys on through. I think I can do both at once as long as my dies decide not to move around too much. All right. Got to be quiet to concentrate. At least I do. Do you do that when you're driving too? Turn down the radio so you can concentrate better? My kids probably laugh at me when I do that. Or maybe they don't realize that's why I'm turning down the radio. Okay. Let's see our little otters here. Move these out of the way. All right, I better put these dies away so they don't get lost. Because my husband is coming back from his office probably sometime soon, and he's find stuff all over his desk and be like, what happened in here? Well, you know. Okay. So I should have said this circle is cut from the Stylish Shapes dies. I think we're going to kind of arrange these like this. I did cut out some of the greenery pieces from the dies just in case I wanted to add some of those, so we'll see. And then, oh, let me get this last one over here. And then we're going to use the Love You Lot sentiment, and this banner's from the Stylish Shapes dies too, and I couldn't decide which one I would like better because I wasn't actually putting the card together. So I did Pool Party and Basic White. We're going to stamp in Pretty Peacock ink, and we will see which one looks better on the card, and then we'll decide. So this is the Love You Lots, which I thought was cute with the big otter and the little otter. All right, so let's kind of lay this out and see here. There is the Pool Party. There is the white. Pool Party white. I don't know. I kind of like the contrast of the Pool Party better against the circle, but not against the Pool Party. I don't know. I'm thinking I don't know if anybody's still watching to comment and help me. I need your help. Oh man, back and forth. I think I'm going to go with the white because I like the contrast here better. Okay, and then let's see. I feel like we need to add a little bit of this greenery on here somehow. So these are cut out of old olive cardstock, and I'm thinking the Lost Lagoon ones will pop a little bit more here. What I was thinking is maybe I glue them on the end of the circle and cut the edges off, but I kind of like them hanging off there. And I don't know, I need one on this side too, maybe. Maybe a Lost Lagoon one. Kind of frames the circle, which is cool. I don't know, I need to start attaching things, I think. Okay. So the circle we're going to attach with Stampin' Dimensionals. And if you heard that noise, that was my phone telling me that my battery is dying. So I can't be dilly-dallying here, making decisions, or I'm going to lose you. Okay, let's see. I know I want my otters here. And our sentiment can kind of go across there, I think. This probably should go behind. Maybe what we'll do, let's see here. I need to do a pool party and a Lost Lagoon. Okay. I think we're going to do that. So I'm going to get my glue. We're just going to add all of these layers. And when you get your card kit, these little pieces will be cut for you. So you will need the stamp set, and if you want the dies to die cut these otters, but these other die cuts I'll do for you. So that is the nice part about these card kits, is really everything is there for you, and you are just doing your own stamping and assembly. You don't have to do the designing like I'm trying to do, right? Okay, so I'm going to lay that down. Then we need this Lost Lagoon. Nope, that was Lost Lagoon. This one's Pool Party. I think the last card is going to be a little bit simpler, and I think I know what I'm doing with that one. I know a demonstrator who does this all the time. She designs on the fly, like every day even. I don't know if I could do that, but today that is how it worked out. I still really wanted to come live to you guys and share a video because it's been a while since I've been live. And I just really wanted to. So that is why we are here. I didn't want to skip out on you. And I couldn't skip out on the otters either because they are so cute. All right, we'll put that one here. And then I think this other old olive one, and I think we'll leave the last Pool Party one off because odd numbers are generally better. Like more pleasing to the eye if you have odd numbers of things. And so I've put 5 pieces on here, so I think that is good. Okay, now I think I'm going to pop the otters up too with dimensionals. What do you think? I think that'll look cute. Okay, so this bigger one, I think we can use regular dimensionals. But that little guy will probably have to use the mini dimensionals. So let's see, I'm going to end up covering this up. See if my glue is dried. I need to move it. That is the problem with not laying it quite out ahead of time. I didn't check. See if I can get him off. Okay, move that up so we still see it. There we go. Okay, so we'll put that otter here. And our little guy does not want to have dimensionals on the back of him. Flip over, there we go. Oh, these mini ones are perfect for this. So if you don't have some of our mini ones, you might want to add some of those to your order too. because they are perfect for some of these little things. Okay, we'll put him there. And then I think maybe I'll tuck this under here. If you don't let our adhesives go for too long, like if this stuck till tomorrow, I probably couldn't do that very well. But, well, maybe I don't want it there. Maybe I want it down here. Where do I want it? Guess I didn't line it up exactly how I wanted, but no, I think right there is probably better. Okay, so I think I'm going to put a dimensional on this side where it's going to hang off the edge, and then it's going to be flat on the circle that's already popped up. So kind of like that, and I'm kind of lining it up so that it goes over the seam of those designer series papers. So there we go. There is that. I don't know if it's perfect. I don't know if I like it. You let me know what you think. I'm not sure I do, but I think overall it's cute. I don't know if everything ended up exactly where I wanted it. That's all right though. Okay, I think I'm going to use the white ones this time. And we are just going to, I don't know. This is the tricky part. Maybe these are going to be more like bubbles this time. Yeah. Okay, I think that looks okay. Where should we put this last one? Over here someplace. And then, I don't know if we should add some twine in. I'm going to tie a bow and we're going to play around with it and see if we like it or not. And then we will move on to our last card before my phone dies. I don't know how long that's going to be because video probably takes a lot. I don't know. A bow there maybe. Or a bow there. Thinking over here. Okay, I'm just going to go with it. If you are recreating the card, you can put it wherever you would like. But I'm going to put it right here. Okay, what do you think of that one? That is pretty cute. Okay, so that's our second one. Moving on to the third one. So this one I think is going to be a little bit simpler. But we're using my favorite, one of my favorite patterns of this paper, this River Rock. So for this one, I have a Lost Lagoon card base. And I think I cut this wrong. I don't think this is the right size. Nope, it's a little long. Okay, well, you know what? We will improvise. I was just looking at that and I was like, that does not look right. All right, I might have to trim this with my, you know what? I'm going to trim it with my trimmer later because otherwise it's going to look funny. So we'll make our card front and then I'll trim that extra off later. You guys are probably laughing so hard right now. Okay, my designer series paper is 5 1/4 by 4. And we're going to lay that down flat here. Oh man, this is how my life goes, but you guys are seeing the real honest truth here. Okay, I have this white piece that I've cut with our Countryside Corners dies, and then I'm going to stamp our last little otter that we haven't used yet on this white scrap here. So we're going to stamp him in Memento black again so we can color him. And I will pull in my pecan pie again. And I think we'll just stick with the pecan pie. I won't try and use the petal pink this time. And we'll just kind of follow along our lines again. Underneath his little paws where there would be shadow. And like I said, you can start with the light and come in and add the dark if you want. It does not really matter which one you start with. Forehead a little darker. Under here maybe. I don't know. Like I said, if you trace the lines in the stamps, that sometimes gives you a good clue about where those darker areas should be. come along here with the dark. All right, we'll fill in the light. He looks pretty silly right now, but once you start and add in that second shade, it's going to start looking better. And he's going to be super cute. This one reminds me of like an old Grandpa Otter with his long whiskers. I don't know why. They probably all have whiskers, so I don't know why it makes me that, but I just noticed it in particular on this one. Now, this is one where there are some guys like this in the designer series paper that you can cut out with the dies. So again, if you're ordering this suite yourself and you don't want to color, you could just use one of those die cut pieces, or you could fussy cut an otter too. So that is a fun option if you're not a colorer. Maybe you are a fussy cutter. And maybe you are like, no way, I would much rather color than fussy cut. Okay, so there is our otter. And there is a die for him too, which is awesome. So we are going to die cut him. And then we'll finish off our card. Okay, I have 5%, guys. We gotta finish or my phone's gonna die on us. Okay. I thought I had it charged more, but I guess I was wrong. That's kind of how the day's going. But hey, I got to come live with you, and that was my main goal, was to get to do my video today. So, mission accomplished. Okay. So, for this one, I think I'm going to put him on here with dimensionals. Oh, but I wanted to add a few bubbles. I think I'm going to use Lost Lagoon ink for my bubbles. And we're just going to put a few bubbles behind him. I don't know what's wrong with this block, but we'll be able to see well enough to do our bubbles. Let's see if that looks good. I'm getting stuff all over here. I guess that last one didn't show up, but that looks pretty cute. And then I think I'm going to use Pretty Peacock ink for my sentiment. Grab our Pretty Peacock. And this one, I have the last sentiment that we used, Otterly Amazing. Stamp that down there. Okay, gotta pop him up with some dimensionals. Now, while I am finishing my, oh, no, look at that, guys. I got a big ink mark. Oh dear. We're gonna have to cover that with something. Oh my goodness. Okay. I don't know if that's a good spot for a ribbon or a embellishment, but it might be today. What I was going to say is that I really love this suite so much that I am hoping to get a card class designed with it, like a stamp camp with a good number of projects. I obviously am not as far on that as I would like to be, but stay tuned because I love this bundle. If you are not on my email list yet, you want to join that because then you make sure to get the information about that when I do get it done. And I also send out this video in the email. So when I do my videos every week, if you're on my email list, you will get them even if you miss them live. Okay, I'm not sure what I'm going to do with this bow. I thought a bow was a good idea, but you know what I probably should have done is tied it around the designer series paper, and then it would have been over here and it would have looked awesome. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get that back up. I might have to make another version of this card and take a picture to show you guys because that smudge is going to bother me also. But, you know. All right, we haven't used these gray ones yet, so I think we're going to have to find a spot for these. And like I said, they can be rocks. I am just using them as embellishments today because that is how it's going. Let's see, put this one here. And maybe this one over here. I don't know. All right. I am going to make a second version of this card that is cut properly, has the bow wrapped around and tied on this side, and does not have a smudge. And you will see a photo of it later because, oh man, this one was kind of a disaster. But trust me, the finished product later will look super cute. So here's our 3 cards that we made today, kind of on the fly. I hope you enjoyed all the comedy that went along with it. If you would like the card kit, remember, I will put a shopping link in the description. And if you spend more than $40 before tax and shipping now through Tuesday, I will send you the card kit. Spend more than $50 and I will double the cards. I will also put a link for the starter kit. If you want to add the suite to that, you can do that right now. Otherwise, these products will be available on Tuesday. So you might want to wait to do your order until then so you can get them. All right, guys, thank you for joining me today. Next week, I should be back at my regular time, but stay tuned because life is always happening and always crazy around here. Bye, guys. Have a great weekend.